Okay, Al, time for Lions talk. You and I are recording this out of order today because we couldn't go 5 seconds without immediately talking about the Lions.
Now, before we were even setting up for the pod, we were like, let's talk Lions really quick.
Yeah.
I was like, let's just record it. Let's just get into it.
Yeah. So here we are. The Lions lose to Seattle in overtime, 37-31. There's a lot of blame to go around. Who do you want to blame first?
Oh, I want to start off such a negative note here, but I guess no.
We have to.
All right, well, if we're going to do that, pitchforks out. Number one, I'm going to say the pass rush.
Pass rush, piss.
Well, let's look at it from the first week and this week. 0 sacks.
0 sacks. No, I'm sorry.
One sack. I'm sorry.
1 sack on. Honestly, I do not even count that as a sack because it was Geno Smith rolling out of the pocket, and for some odd, inexplicable reason, the man tucks the ball and starts running instead of just throwing it away. And Anzalone finally got to him and chased him down. I do not count that as a sack.
That's a baffling decision by Geno for sure. But yeah, the pass rush in this game felt non-existent for most of it. I would say of a pretty lousy defensive effort all around, I'd say that was probably the weakest spot. Like, I think most fans could come away and agree after yesterday and week one.
So only the 1 sack, right? How about this? That was the only QB hit we had all day. Not even just a sack, just getting to the quarterback. That was the only time we hit Geno behind the line of scrimmage. Also, that was the only tackle for a loss we had all day.
Yeah, Kenneth Walker was also running like unchecked on many plays and was having a much better afternoon with a horribly banged up offensive line that we thought we were going to be eaten all day yesterday. And
honestly, I'm not too upset with the run defense. Kenneth Walker had 17 for 43. He was averaging 2.5 yards a carry, right? Like their team as a whole was 25 for 82, 25 carries for 82 yards. That's 3.3 yards a carry. Geno Smith was 3 for 20. You're welcome, by the way, listeners. 3 for 20. His prop was 12.5. But you take that out, they're 22 carries for 62 yards. I mean, like, that's very solid. Meanwhile, we're 27 carries for 102 yards. And that run game didn't look great. But let's go back to the defense. Yeah, pass rush, non-existent. So we're getting bad matchups where we're throwing like fucking Charles Harris into coverage against a tight end. He's going to get beat 20 times out of 10.
And I think all three of their tight ends yesterday were like getting involved and getting catches. Like it wasn't just a one-man show. Like they were lining up in 3 tight end sets a lot, and they were all getting catches.
God, I wish I knew who these tight ends.
Noah Fant, Will Dissly, and I don't remember.
Colby Parkinson.
Thank you. I didn't remember.
A tight end?
I believe he's the tight end 3, but I didn't remember his name off the top of my head.
Yes. Fant 4 for 56, Parkinson 2 for 41, Dissly 3 for 35. So they combined for a total of 9 catches, 120, 130 yards.
Yeah, I mean that's terrible.
On 10 targets.
I was hoping that this game wouldn't be as much of a track meet as it was, especially for the Seahawks, like scoring wise. But looking at it removed, I mean, based on the last couple of matchups here, I mean, should we have expected anything different, to be honest?
I mean, like, it wasn't so much in the first half. I mean, we held them to 7 points, and then we come out, and this is my blame with the offense. And I'm not putting it on one individual player because I don't think you can. As an offense collective, this cannot happen. You cannot fumble the ball coming out of halftime when you're up in your own red zone. That basically just gave the Seahawks a free 7 points and the lead
major
or the tie the ball game starting out.
It sucks all the air out of those 2 missed field goals. Like they're basically nothing at that point.
And then B, you can't have that pick 6 in the fourth quarter. You just can't. I don't care.
I mean,
I know people are saying that it's on Gibbs for running the wrong route. I look at that video and that ball looks like behind Gibbs completely.
well,
I
look,
don't know how he could have broken off that route differently.
I was going to say that, but also I was going to make a note that, I mean, like, Goff's streak it came to an end. I think it was 300 something pass attempts without a pick, which is like a league, league high.
Third highest ever.
I mean, it's the NFL. You're going to throw picks sometimes. Pick six, yeah, that's brutal. But the fact that he's had one in like this long of a span, I'm not going to be too mad. I'm more angry about the fumble.
Yeah.
And Jahmyr Gibbs kind of effing up the route than putting it all on Goff. Goff played out.
I'm not putting anything on Goff. Goff
he played out of
was
his gourd.
One good thing we had yesterday.
Yeah, he was electric yesterday.
28 for 35, 323 yards, 3 touchdowns. The one pick, he only got sacked twice. So good job, offensive line. He had 78.7 QBR and a 121.8 rating. That's with the interception.
And I got to say, during the pregame and everything, they're announcing all the guys on the starting lineups and everything. Offense was Sunday. The cheers at Ford Field for Goff were like deafening. Like it was so loud for Jared Goff. And I feel like that's probably a little confidence booster going into the game, because I think as long as he's been here, he's been kind of a wait and see. We don't really know what we got here kind of thing. Some people are in Goff camp, others aren't. This is the first time where I felt like he was fully embraced as a Lions fan, like being at a game and seeing him. But yeah, he balled out. He played great, and it's disappointing that it had to end with an L. But yeah, he played a great game.
He was definitely a bright spot. Amon was also a bright spot. Honestly, the passing game in general, I would say, was a good bright spot. Amon,
Josh Reynolds, serpent to death.
6 for 102. Josh Reynolds, 5 for 66, and had 2 really good catches for touchdowns. Laporta, 5 for 63 on 6 targets, as long as it's 23 yards. Again, he was a good blanket to pick up those first downs. Kenny Raymond, 2 for 46 and a touchdown. Gibbs, you want to talk about Gibbs?
You can spearhead the conversation here. I will chime in though.
I got to see more.
Well, I think we're gonna. I mean,
right,
because Montgomery being out, and I
don't know what it is. He looked night and day different from Kansas City. He was not hitting holes. He was not getting in the open. 7 catches. He had 39 yards. That's 5.6 yards of reception.
I guess I do want to.
His longest was 7 yards.
I do want to expand the conversation a little bit, further to just the running game in general, moving into week 3 and onward. Montgomery being out for a couple weeks is going to be pretty massive for this rushing attack.
Yeah.
I don't think Gibbs is an every down 75% of the snaps guy, especially right now. He's really early on in his career, and that's just not his skill set for this offense, it would seem. So, I mean, what are we going to do here? Craig Reynolds and him are not going to be enough to carry this rushing attack alone. We need another guy in there, and I don't know who that looks like right now. I don't know if we bring someone up from the practice squad. I don't know if they make a free agent signing. I know that Justin Jackson retired.
Leonard Fournette.
Playoff Lenny is a free agent still.
Hunt.
Well, I just don't think those guys are going to want to come in and contribute for the year. I just don't think as soon as Montgomery's back, they're not really going to be in the rotation as much, I would imagine. But
Rex Burkhead?
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I'm kind of scratching my head here. I don't know what you do.
Do we try to get Justin Jackson out of retirement?
Honestly, that seems like a pretty realistic option to me. He retired at the end of camp, and I don't know, maybe he could be brought back, and he knows the offense, he knows the personnel. That makes sense to me, rather than signing a Kareem Hunt or a playoff Lenny, because those guys are going to be expensive and year-long contributors, not just stopgap guys.
James Robinson.
I mean, didn't we draft a guy like 2 years ago? Jamar Jefferson, maybe.
I think he's on practice squad.
Maybe bring him up.
He'll probably get elevated, but I mean,
I don't know.
That's not.
He's not David Montgomery, so yeah, that's as
bad
as.
If you want a David Montgomery reliever, I would only compare him to some of those guys that I mentioned early on.
Right.
Fournette, Hunt, James Robinson would be good.
Yeah, he's a free agent. There you go. That might work. But
Something like that.
anyways, so yeah, the rushing game, definitely a rocky start for it for sure. And I will say Montgomery on the whole, I mean, like he's pretty damn good when he
He looked good yesterday.
He made a lot of plays and he's filling the role that we thought he would. But yeah, now him being out for a couple weeks is definitely going to be a problem for this offense.
All right, so we've talked about the defense. We've talked about the offense. We also have to talk about Dan Campbell yesterday. Went for it on 4th down 3 times. Only converted one of them. And honestly, the first one was pretty damn questionable. They were in field goal range. But Al and I have an agreement that, one, Al gets to be mad at those non-4th down conversions because he criticizes the 4th down conversions to begin with. So, but he also doesn't celebrate the ones that we do convert. Where on the other hand, I don't get to criticize Dan Campbell when he doesn't make it on 4th down because I celebrate the 4th down conversions. You don't get it both ways.
You can't have your cake and eat it too.
You cannot have it both ways, ladies and gentlemen. You know what you're getting with Dan Campbell, and he is an aggressive head coach. He's going to go for it on 4th down 3 times, even when he is in field goal range.
Yeah, and I think where it boils down for me, it's not that I have a problem with every single time it goes 4th down. It's the batshit crazy ones that we see. Like we saw one last week, we saw one this week that was questionable. Like those are the ones that are enough for me to go. I guess overall not a fan. So I'm glad we have this little bit of a line in the sand here because that's pretty much. I feel like that's fair. You know?
Yeah, no. But where we do have a problem is him taking his foot off the gas on that last possession. I don't know. Maybe the pick 6 scared him. Maybe they saw something in the Seattle defense where they didn't want to. But honestly, they had great field positioning. They had all 3 timeouts to start that drive. You let it dwindle on down and you kick the field goal to send it into overtime. You had a 50-50 shot there, and maybe not even that because who knows if our offense does end up scoring a touchdown if they get the ball. But as soon as Seattle won that coin toss, I knew it was
over. It's over
because our defense couldn't stop a nosebleed yesterday. So I don't know. Tough game. That is a game where you watch the game field once and then burn it. Get rid of it. You have to move on from that game, and you have to move on from it quickly because you cannot start this year 1-2.
No.
Especially dropping both home games.
Home NFC matchups.
Yes.
Which
you cannot drop these fucking games.
Those are the ones you gotta take a W.
Also, it was a really tough game to watch because the Lions should have won that fucking game, even with all the blunders. But that was the biggest letdown spot possible. We were saying this, I was saying it all week, that it is a ginormous, massive letdown spot. Seattle has had our number the last couple of years. They're coming off a ginormous loss at home against the Rams. Detroit's coming off the biggest win in team history. Home game, everybody's going nuts. It was the biggest letdown spot in letdown spot history.
But you know what? I will say though, it's not like they went out there and like laid an egg. Like it was a competitive game until the very end. They forced it to overtime. Lots of points. There was some good. There was some ugly, but
there was more than some ugly.
For sure. But like it wasn't a complete farce of a performance like all around. And yeah, I completely agree. This is one that you just need to watch the film once and then say, all right, we're on to Atlanta. Let's just move on. And you absolutely cannot lose to them next week. I know they're 2-0. They came back against the Pack, but yeah, dude, you cannot start off 1-2 against 2 on paper cupcake NFC home games.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, no, we're moving on to Atlanta. The good news is that we're still tied for the division lead because Green Bay lost yesterday to the team that we're facing this Sunday, Atlanta. Honestly, Green Bay should be 2-0 right now. They were up 12 with 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter. let that one slip from their hands. And Atlanta went on to win. Desmond Ritter now 30-0 at home, dating back to college.
That's
Isn't
crazy.
that
Wow.
wild? But he's on the road. So we have back-to-back home games. We'll see what comes of it.
I mean, this offense is going to ride on Bijan Robinson and the rushing attack for sure. Desmond Ritter is kind of whatever.
It's
Actually, he is exactly whatever, not kind of.
it's good that that our run game looked so good on Sunday because that's how Atlanta wins games. But who knows? The bad news is we do not know what's happening with Taylor Decker if he's going to be back. But it looks like we're losing James Houston for a couple of weeks. He suffered a fractured ankle.
Pascal out for a few weeks, I think.
Pascal hitting the IR.
Yeah.
Khalil Dorsey on the IR. David Montgomery going to miss a couple weeks. Vaitai, he doesn't expect. Campbell said Monday that he doesn't expect Vaitai to go to the injury reserve list, but he might be out for a couple weeks now. We need Decker back. We need to get Decker back so we can move Glasgow to right guard and have a good starting lineup still for there. We need some people on defense to step the fuck up, man. This is getting ludicrous. I don't know if we need Romeo to start playing better. I don't know. They got to figure it out.
We definitely need more Jack Campbell.
Definitely more Jack Campbell. It's a Lions list of demands for this upcoming week.
I demand satisfaction.
I think this is the biggest one. We need to control time of possession. Because that's exactly what Atlanta is going to try to do to us. So I'm saying 60 to 40%, 60% us, 40% them. Have control of time of possession.
Hang on to the ball, ground and pound,
yes.
Eat up the clock.
Keep their offense off the field. Don't let them get going. This one I feel like is a gimme. This one's for the defense. Less than 125 passing yards.
I think you can definitely do that.
I'm not going to ask for sacks because apparently you guys don't want to give us any. I'm not going to ask for turnovers because apparently you guys don't want to give us any. That's fine.
It's not fine, but all right.
Hold them to 125 passing yards. Okay. If you're going to keep doing this, Dan, Ben Johnson better have some shit drawn up that cannot fail. 100% fourth down conversion rate on Sunday. So I have that's one for the offense, one for the defense, one for the coaching staff, and then another one for the offense. No turnovers. That's the reason we lost the game on Sunday.
Per usual, I'll chime in with just like one demand. Marvin Jones, get involved. I feel like week 1 was horrible. This week, I don't even remember. Did he do anything at all? Maybe a catch, maybe 2? Anything?
I do not remember.
Of all the receivers, everyone had a decent day. I feel like I didn't see much of him at all.
You're right. I don't remember seeing him on the in the box score.
Let's try and get like 40 plus yards from Marvin Jones. Let's get him a little more involved until JMO gets back. Yeah, we're going to need some receivers to step up. I think Reynolds has done a really nice job in week 1 and 2, but they're going to start scheming for him. They're going to start covering him if he's actually getting this open. So we're going to need another guy to step up here besides St. Brown and him. And he's back here, but he's done all of zilch since he got back.
Squat.
So Marvin Jones, 40 plus. Let's see it.
Marvin did not have a catch or a target yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
So, all right, score predictions.
I'm not going to, like I said, they need to win this game. And I'm not going to be a total downer about everything because of one game. We have a long season to go. We're going to go Lions 27, Falcons 20. And I think one last note, I think the blue ski masks might be dead on arrival. So.
Retired. Seahawks stole that from us yesterday. We cannot wear those anymore.
Yep.
I'm going to go 37-20 Detroit.
Okay.
We need to see a game where you guys win by double digits. Restore the faith in the fans, please. For the crazy fans, for the fans that love to overreact and jump to conclusions. That's not us, for the record. All right, let's close the show out.